children, happy to see you all again. In previous session, we have learnt about food poisoning, and today we are going to discuss about the food preservation methods. And in the first chapter, we have learned how to preserve the food grains and store the food grains. Here we are going to learn how to preserve the cooked food items. And in the cooked food items, the moisture content will be high, and it was very good chance of attack of microorganisms. So what is that food preservation means? Food preservation, this avoids the attack of microorganism. So food preservation means it avoid attack of microorganisms. Okay. So this process avoids the attack of microorganisms in food. Okay, so some of the microorganisms like bacteria and fungi which spoils the food. This spoiling of food which gives the unpleasant odor. Okay, this may give the unpleasant odor. This odor as well as the change in color. So this changes the color of the food items and it creates an unpleasant odor, and the taste is also get changed. So because the food is get spoiled and it is by the attack of microorganism. So how to prevent this? So we are seeking the help of preservatives. What is this preservatives? Preservatives, it is nothing but the substance used to preserve the food. So it is nothing but the substance used to preserve food. So that is called as preservatives. Okay. So we are having lot of preservatives. So we are having lot of preservatives. First, by the chemical method. We are using sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite. Sodium benzoate. And next it is sodium metabisulfite. Okay, so by using these two, we can preserve the food like jams and squashes, and this prevents the growth of microorganism in that food items. And next preservation, that is preservative, it is by common salt. By the common salt. So we are using the salt in home now. By that, we are going to preserve the food by common salt. This process, it is called as salting. Okay, the adding salt to the food to preserve the food, that is called as salting process. And the food items like amla, fish and meat, it is preserved here. And this by this process, it checks the growth of microorganism. Checks the growth of microorganism. Okay, so this is about the preservative salt, that is the common salt. And next it is by the sugar. By sugar. The sugar we are using in home now, that does also act as a preservative. It is done by the process called sweetening. Sweetening process. So here jams and jellies. Jams as well as the jellies is used to preserve here. Okay, this inhibits the growth. Inhibits the growth of microorganism. And next preservative, it is oil and vinegar. Oil and vinegar, it is used to preserve the vegetables, fruits, fishes and meat. Fish and meat. So this is about the oil and vinegar as a preservative. And next, by the temperature. Temperature, it is also here plays a major role. So by cooling temperature, that is in the low temperature, we are using the refrigerators, right? Refrigerators in our home, we used to preserve the food in the refrigerator at chill condition, that is the lower temperature. In high temperature, that is the boiling process. So by the boiling, the microorganism get killed. So it kills the microorganism. Kills the microorganism. Okay, so this is the process of boiling. And here it is, this boiling process is seen in the milk. So milk, it is get heated at 70 degrees Celsius. At 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds. And this is suddenly chilled. This is suddenly get chilled, and by this process the microorganism is get destroyed here. So as such we can consume this milk. We are getting the packeted milk in our home, no? So that milk we can as such consume because there is no microorganism present. This process, it is called as pasteurization. What is this process? It is pasteurization. This was discovered by Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur. Okay. So this is about the pasteurization. And next, another one step, that is storage and package. Storage and package. So here we are storing the food items and we are packing the food items to avoid the attack of microorganism. In this process, we used to remove the air from the food items and it is filled in the airtight container. So the air cannot enter inside that and the microorganism attack is also get lowered. So this is called a storage and package method. Here airtight container is used. Airtight container is used to avoid the attack of microorganism. So these are the preservatives used to avoid the spoilage of the food, and this process is called as food preservation. Thank you, children.